Hi guys, Paul here, PABrewNews, back yet again in the dungeon. So we have the Expedition Pack here from New Trail Brewing Company, along with 4 other brewing companies, the Warwick Farms, Human Robot, Old Thunder, and Tonewood in collaboration. We have 4 different styles, and we're going to go through these and do them one by one. And we're going to start with the one that I was excited about. I thought it was a West Coast Pale Ale, but it's a West Coast Pilsner. And this is with Human Robot. Full disclosure, I paid $34 for this 4-pack, or this, this Expedition Pack. Usually the, Trogs or New Trail is pretty reasonably priced, around the $20 for like maybe a 12-pack of stuff. This was $34, I guess because of like Human Robot and stuff like that. Prices went up. I don't know. But I've had their Expedition Pack before, and it wasn't that expensive. So, yeah, but I figured I'd let you know. And I really haven't seen this many places either, surprisingly. So. And I believe Human Robot is out of Philadelphia. Let's see. This is coming in at 5% alcohol by volume. Lager brewed with lemon peel and orange peel. Huh, weird. And the Citra, Talus, and Simcoe. Citrus infused West Coast. I mean, honestly, if you just do a West Coast hop bill correctly, you shouldn't have to add citrus. That seems a little weird. I'm already off to that seems a little bit of a weird start. But here we go. Cheers. Okay. You get a little bit of a citrus quality for sure. A little bit of earthy, piney kind of vibe. Spicy earthiness too. Soft breadiness. Cheers. Drying the palate out, for sure. But there's not a lot going on. There's a lot of earthiness. And it's like I said, just drying the palate right out with that earthiness. There's a little bit of nuance of that citrus quality around the palate. But honestly, I was hoping for a big, explosive Westie. I didn't expect it to be a Pilsner, too. I just heard there was a West Coast. I was like, oh my God. But, yeah, I honestly... not getting a lot out of it. A little bit of pine, a lot of earthy pepperiness, drying the palate out, nuance of that citrus quality. Like for instance, there's Talus in here. That's great citrus quality. Why would you have to add peel and stuff? I don't know. But honestly, wanting an overly hopped or hopped up Pilsner, I'd almost go over Peeville Pils over this because I'm not really getting like, just drinking this without knowing, I would be like, wow, that's a West Coast Pilsner. I wouldn't be getting that. And it is light. It is light and bready like a Pilsner. But then it's drying the palate out, and you have that earthy kick. So, I mean, it's drinking okay. I really just don't think it's like really hitting the marks and giving you the flavor compounds that you were hoping for from a West Coast, and you're not really getting that punch from the citrus quality. So, but it is in there. It's just nuanced. I'll give that one. I think I'll give it a 7. 7 out of 10 for that one. All right, come back, check out the next one. All right, we're just going to move right on, and this is Grassroots. And this is in collaboration with Tonewood Brewing. Hazy IPA. 6.2 alcohol by volume. And the hops in this one are Nectaron and Mosaic. That's pretty cool. Nectaron. So let's throw her in there. It's a little, I might have the left hand label out, folks. There we go. Hazy IPA. Not too crazy hazy, but definitely hazy. There it is. Sweet. Long day at work. I'm tired. But sure, we'll get these in. I don't think I'm going to do the dark beer tonight because I have another dark beer. So I'm probably going to have a different outfit on when I review and put this all together in one giant video. But I figured we could maybe just do the lighter beers today. So, alright, let's get into it. Get you a nice little kick, little hop kick there, right at the front. You get a little bit of a soft grapefruit, a little bit of orange rind, maybe even a hint of like a fleshy mango. Just hit you right there in the front. That was nice, like, you know, nectarine kind of vibes. Earthy pepperiness wafting right through it, the whole thing. Soft browniness from that malt base. Little sweetness. Yeah. Pretty standard stuff. Pretty easy going. Like, stop blowing my doors off or anything, but solid beer for sure. It's a low side of a medium body. Definitely not attacking the palate, not offensive, nothing like that. A little bit of that soft citrus quality, a little bit like a little bit of something like a little bit of a sweeter mango kind of vibe in there. Again, a little bit more of that kind of like nectarine vibe in the citrus quality. Hint of a grapefruit on the front. Nice earthy pepperiness through it, balancing on that slight sweetness it has. Overall, pretty good. Yeah, I'll give this one a 7.5. All right. To the next. Okay, so now we have a Golden Hour Hazy Double IPA, and this is with Warwick Farms. Cool. Give it a roll just in case. The next one was with the Old Thunder Brewing Company, which last expedition pack they did, that was the star of the show for me. That dark, lovely, just rich, malty beast. I think it was like Old Logger's Path or something like that. It was really, really good. But this is a nice looking hazy. A little zippy in there too. Let's see what it says. Mosaic and Nelson Sauvin. Okay, yep. 8.5. Yeah, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Yeah. So, kicked up on that little, like that soft, crunchy, bright citrus tonality is kicked up. A little bit of that white grape kind of vibe wafting through there. There was a nuance of something that hit me immediately that almost reminded me like almost like a sweet tart kind of like a zippy brightness, and that's what it's got from that Nelson. It's nice. The white grape thing, a little bit of like a nice pepperiness. Mm. Yeah, it's kind of bright and shouty. I like that. It's they do make a couple different, hazy doubles where it's more like, just dark, like richer stone fruits, and it's more broody and things like that. But I like them when they kind of like are screaming at you and shouting at you and dancing around. This was doing that. It's real bright on the citrus quality. Like I said, it's like zippy, got a little bit, almost a slight, little bit of like a sweet tart kind of vibe, and then you have that white grape thing happening too. That's pretty fun. This drinks like an IPA though. The body, and everything is drinking like an IPA. So 8.5, that's a dangerous beer. Yeah, lighter side of a medium body. Soft brightness, soft sweetness, playing really well together with that hop base, the bright hop base, the bright zingy hop base, playing with that slightly lighter malt bill with a little bit of a sweetness to it, playing off each other pretty nice, very cohesive. That's good. Yeah, it's a nice. I prefer like richer and you know what I mean. But it's still, for what it is, I think it is playing off each other quite nicely, and it's a nice little drink for sure. Nice little bit of playful sweetness too. It doesn't get too dry. Ooh, nice. I'll give this one 8 out of 10. Or 8.5. Alright, one more to go. See you in a bit. Alright guys, we're here to finish up the Expedition Pack. And this is with Old Thunder Brewing Company. This is Beneath the Moon's Shadow. Imperial Stout with coffee. Probably shouldn't be drinking coffee beer this late night, but a little chilly down here, so the beer's a little chilly. Unfortunately, that's how nature works. So, folks. Cool name. I like. It's different. Wearing my permanent midnight shirt while we're drinking Beneath the Moon's Shadow. And permanent midnight album's Under the Blood Moon. So there you go. That's pretty cool. Like I said, the last time I've had a beer in collaboration with Old Thunder was like a dark, really rich dark lager or dark ale. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. It was called Lager's Path, I believe. It was really, really good. So, again, this is going to be a little bit cold, but cheers. It's a bit thin, but it's good. Okay, roasty, toasty, earthy pepperiness through there. Definitely got coffee coming off. You have a little bit of burnt caramel sweetness there. Almost a little hint of a cola-esque sweetness mixing in with caramel. It is a low side of a medium to medium side of a medium body. That's why I think it's a little bit thin, but it is a little cold too. That might be affecting it a bit. We'll just say about medium side of a medium body. Still thin for an imperial stout. Sometimes, additions of coffee and stuff, I've noticed it does kind of sometimes hinder the body depending on how you're adding it. But the taste is really, really good. Yeah, rich like milk chocolate, baker's chocolate, mixing with that coffee. Nice. 9.5% alcohol by volume. Think. Awesome ABV as well. Yeah, cool name. Awesome artwork. Good beer. Yeah, this is nice. Well, this is a good way to end the. I saw you, Cameron. I saw you. Nice way to end this this expedition pack. Yeah, that's a nice one. I'm going to sip on this for a while. And then I have another beer I'm going to do tonight before I go to bed. But, so, overall, there's 4 beers we had here. This is definitely my favorite. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. This is definitely my favorite beer. Golden Hour was okay. Excuse me. The Grassroots was, standard, and then the Expanse was a little bit subpar, to be perfectly honest. So this is the star of the show. Nice beer for sure. However, the double IPA, the hazy IPA, both are, I would say, less than normal quality for New Trail Brewing Company, especially for the price. If you have to think about it, because this was like $34. You can get a 4-pack of 16-ounce double IPAs from New Trail for around like $11.99, $12.99, depending where you are. I'm talking about the double IPA, So, so the Warwick Farm and the Tonewood, they're just subpar beers overall for the price that you're paying here in this Expedition pack. It is cool to get stuff from different brewing companies like Tonewood. I'd like to see what Tonewood does by themselves. But for New Trail Brewing Company, the hazy and the double are not as good as their normal hazy and double IPAs that they actually release, especially since it's a jacked up price. And the Expanse really was just like, boy, it does definitely tasted like a hopped up pale ale, or a pilsner rather. Excuse me. But it's not coming off as a huge West Coast hop bomb. And even the addition of the lemon, the peels, the orange peel and grapefruit peel or something like that. I mean, even that isn't like extremely noticeable. It's the stuff that you would get, the grapefruit, the orange and stuff, is stuff that you would normally just get from the addition of good West Coast hops anyway. So, I don't know. Like I said, drinking that, I was like, man, I wish I could just have like a Pivo Pils or something like that. Just a nice, really just traditionally hopped up Pilsner. I would enjoy it more. And again, when Backcountry is the new West Coast, they just released, and that's fantastic. That tasted great. Loved it. You know what I mean? So I would, obviously what I'm saying is not going to matter too much, but I definitely wouldn't buy it again, and because of the price. And then also when the next Expedition pack comes out, if it's $30-some again, or whatever, I'm probably gonna not buy it because it's just too damn expensive. And for the quality that I'm getting 1 quality beer, and 3 are just like, meh. Why would I want to do that for that price? That's ridiculous. So, yeah. That's an honest review. I'm not going to do a lot of editing and make things look nice and stuff. I just really can't bother. That might be a bad thing, but it is what it is. But I am going to pop all these 4 together, and you're going to see them in straight through, and there you go. Don't need to say that because you'll see it. If you made it this far, you already know it. But anyway, yeah. So this has been Paul from PABrewNews. 9 out of 10 for this one. This one, and just like the Logger's Path, the old Logger's Path or something like that. If I could get a case of just that, I would. And I don't care if it's $50 or $60 a case or whatever. I just get that. Same thing with this. I get this. But because it's a coffee imperial stout, I don't know how it holds up, for example. But yeah, if I saw a 4-pack at least of this in 16-ounce cans or whatever, I just get this. The other stuff, New Trail releases stuff like this all the time, and honestly, the stuff that New Trail generally releases is better than these 4. So this is, I don't know. This is the this is the case that you get they release that you get extremely excited to see what Old Thunder does, which also makes me need to go and visit Old Thunder and see what other great dark beers they make, because honestly, New Trail doesn't make good dark beers, generally speaking. But apparently Old Thunder fucking does. Something about Old Thunder does. So that's awesome. Anyway, yeah, so I would consider this one like a miss. I consider this a miss. I'm not saying, don't get it. You do you, boo boo. But yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I really wish I would have just spent $20 on a case of Celebration, or a 12-pack of Celebration or something like that, instead of an extra $14 or whatever on this. So it is what it is. It's always interesting to try new stuff, and that's why we do it. And it's nice to see some Tone Wood, for example, Human Robot, and things like that. But it is what it is. Well, anyway, it's Paul from PABrewNews. Cheers.